and I'm going to hit record so we can share this with anyone that couldn't be here. So first of all, anyone have any wins or any conversions or anything they want to share? Mimi?
Yeah, we've had some great conversions, actually. Justin on our team recently, it's speed to lead, right? They have 5 minutes really to catch the lead. And really, when we do that, we're finding that they are more receptive, and they may still be on the ad looking at it. So yeah, we've actually been converting some, I think typically they're more, nurture leads. However, Justin got an appointment, right, Owens? What did he get?
So he got one on that. So he's gotten a couple off the mobile home, which he had to convert into a referral. And then he got a new one. He started using a modified smart plan that he has. And then he just got some appointments set up for showings this week.
That's exciting. You think about that. I mean, because you guys know, whatever lead generation lever you're using, it requires the active lead generating, catching, connecting, collecting information, and wherever they're at is where they're at. So if they're not writing an offer this week, it's a nurture. And yet, if that's open houses that you're doing that, or door knocking, or cold calling, or Facebook ads, all those things need to happen, don't they? So you just can't lose sight of that. So every time you think about that, you think of like $7,500 opportunity, pretty darn good, right? For how much did you spend on the ad? About?
We're 72 cents a lead average.
So we spend about $20 per ad usually.
$20 an ad.
So for you guys, since we're talking and you guys had a conversion we're talking about, how are you guys running your day so that you're aware? Speed to lead. I mean, Mimi, you hit it. Speed to lead, because the truth is this: if you don't get the lead, because sometimes you don't, because it's like 9:30 at night and you're already off your computer and it's the next day. But when you can, how are you guys doing that best?
So we get the notification, we call, email, text immediately, all three. That's it. And typically we find that if they're serious, they'll talk with you right then and there.
Yeah.
And but sometimes you at least get them, you catch them, and then they'll then they're a nurture. But occasionally they're a hot one.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, 1 out of 10, you're gonna get a hot tamale. It's like, if you're right. Exactly. So a couple of things in that, when you get them, when you make that call, it's smart to reference the Facebook ad so they know where the heck you are. So you guys just following the basic script that we came up and shared?
Basic script, yep. Coming from contribution, gratefulness, and thanks for clicking on the ad. And we're also asking them some feedback for our sellers, so tell us about the ad. What do you think about it? Anything else we could do differently,
and that's the thing is when you're coming from contribution and you're asking great questions, you get interaction. And if you actually make it about that ad or that seller first, the art of people just being genuinely good people and wanting to help comes out of them, and it kind of warms things up in the conversation. And I love that you are asking them their opinion. One of the best opinion questions I heard, I actually wrote it down and thought this would be a good one. If you got a chance to speak with them, say, hey, I don't know if you're really serious right now or if you're just dream shopping, but either way, would you be willing to beta test Real Estate Search 2.0? This is the new search. Zillow doesn't even have it. Would you be willing to try it out? I'd love some feedback. And if you've got a little conversation going with someone like that, even if they're a nurture or not even a real lead right now, there's someone, maybe a year or so down the line, they're thinking about it. You really can bring them in, and all you have to do is go right into promote my mobile app right there. While you got them, you got the contact record open. You're going to make a few notes and say, hey, would you mind? I'd love your feedback. And regardless if you're looking at homes to buy or just having a little fun and dream shopping, I would love your feedback because you're obviously someone that's interested in real estate. Would you mind giving it a try? Here, I'll send it to you right now. So just know that that's a real good question. And those of you that get a dialogue going, your questions that you ask are really critical. So is anyone else having some wins that they want to share, or kind of that we can dive into, or anyone have any challenges that they want to talk about?
Yes, I have about right now, and here's the thing, I wasn't notified that some of these came in, so I'm going and checking. I got to relook at my notifications. But anyway, so yes, when I call people, the premise of that call is to get feedback on that property they clicked on. You know, I do not at all come from like sales. I'm like, oh, hi, you know, I actually received notification that you clicked on this ad, and you know, I'm not sure if you're looking or not, or just browsing, because I know I'm a browser. I'm just wondering if you have a few minutes, if you'd be willing to give me some feedback.
So how are those calls going? Are they going pretty good?
They're going wonderful. And here's the thing.
I liked it. I mean, I was just hearing you. I'm like, well, that's really nice. I mean, so
yeah, and well, I did it. It was so funny. I was talking to my best friend this weekend and explaining like how it works. And I said, well, let me give you an example, you know, just to get myself more. And and then it's like, she's just going on. And then she goes, I go, okay, cut. And she goes, oh my gosh, I was so sucked into that. It was funny. I'm like, okay, we're done. But
well, here's the thing I want you guys to remember. You're people collecting and you're lead generating at the same time. And the truth is that this is really important to share. And I know Natalie's on and a couple people that have heard this already. The old method of conversion was 10 days of pain. And basically you hammered until they said, leave me alone and unsubscribe, or fine, I want to buy a house. You know, it's kind of like you had to push 100 people through this kind of attack to find the gold. But in the meanwhile, you kind of ruined about 97 conversations because you just kind of drove those people away. The new model is relationship, because the truth is you've got really, really precious data there. That's really kick butt data. It's not maybe an okay email or maybe an okay phone number. 80 to 90% of your data is going to be really true. So it'd be like you doing all the work to go to a networking event and really striking a great conversation with someone, and them actually giving you their contact information and permission to further the conversation, but for like $1 a piece. So, you know, for time and speed to lead, just don't lose sight of that this is, you're collecting relationships. And by being like what Maureen was, it just even in your tone, it's a very different approach than what we used to learn. And so the other thing I want you to make sure you share in the office with anyone you care about, you guys, is if you used to use the model of 10 days of pain, don't do that anymore. Because don't waste these relationships you're collecting for, you know, $1 a piece or whatever, because it's gold, and it's for you to build on. And it's a really cool approach. I think it's the way of the world. Let's just be honest, we're all sick of being hammered with blah, you know, and you know, when you can actually be sincere in your tone and your voice and all that, just keep that in mind. So I'm really anxious for when we can add video and images to our smart plans, because I think we'll really be able to razzle dazzle and show our true personalities, you know, to them, so they know like, okay, you're not like some cheesy salesperson just, you know, trying to get me to do whatever. It's really coming from care and contribution. So I love it. What other thing? Go ahead, Garrett.
What do you know about video coming out? Is it anytime soon or what? Because I think
I don't know, but I'm recording mine as we speak just so they're ready.
Yeah, well, I know that you've got your finger on the pulse at KWRI.
It's close. It's very close. So it's part of the email and the video all together. So what I'm doing is I'm writing my touches as if my video was on top, because most people just click and watch the video, and then the bottom's like bulleted points with links built in. So, you know, when I'm having a good hair day, I'll do a few extra vids. There you go. Garrett, you always have a good hair day. But, you know, that's what I'm doing it. Like, okay, I'm like, I look pretty decent today. Let me kick off some of these, you know, and I'm just throwing up in YouTube unlisted. So they're just stored there. And then eventually I'll pull them through.
Good idea.
Quick question about the 10 days of pain that we're transferring from. So now we're uploading them into Command to do the system that we're discussing here, but what should I say to them so it's like they're in a new system, what should that call be?
So Natalie, I think, because you've got such a cool situation. So just so everyone knows, Natalie's been doing this for a long time, a little bit different method on a different platform. So we're trying to move them from one platform into this one. So I would maybe, and I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I would maybe say, we just upgraded to Real Estate 2.0 and we want to give you first glance at it. This technology doesn't exist anywhere, not even Zillow or Realtor.com. I would love, as someone that obviously has interest in real estate, I would love your feedback. Maybe something like that. So they're not like, what's this, right? Because it's going to feel different. What do you guys think? What would you do if you were moving from one platform to another? And Natalie, was your previous follow-up, what would you, was it more like 10 Days of Pain, or what was it like?
Yeah, it's all 10 days of pain right now, but that's for the new leads. Existing people in the database, like Mets, and people that we network with, those are usually friendly text and calls and video market update.
Right.
So, but I want to bring the 10 days of pain people in and see if we can, regain some
Or you could say, I intend to make this less painful. More fun.
10 days of gain. 10 days of gain, not pain.
Yeah, they renamed it. They renamed it 10 Days of Gain instead of pain, but it was still painful. So here's what I want you guys to think about. This is the new way of collecting people. This is a new way of creating a tribe. And yet, if you guys could add 500 people with full contact information to your database in the next quarter, spending about $550, would you do it? Probably. And I think what's really cool about this is I think about, and Kimberly, you're on, you remember when we relocated here and we had 0 people in our world except like our immediate families?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you imagine moving to a new town and having to relaunch an entire business?
Mm-hmm. So whole
this is the way you
I think the script that you had said about tech doesn't exist, it's a FOMO script, and I think that's great. And it's almost like an exclusive, like you're in my I love that script.
Yeah, like you're my VIP inner circle, and I really trust you, and I would love your feedback. And you can even do that to your own sphere. I mean, there's so many different ways that you could roll this out, but the point is this: the agents I hear that are converting have really good scripting of value. They're not trying to talk them into doing anything. They're saying, I can offer you so much value. This. What interests you? And saying, regardless, and even almost doing a takeaway in the script, like you're probably just clicking on things like I do on Facebook, but if you're serious at all and you want to know like the best buys, I can update you weekly on the very best buys, or let me send you a link right now through text. And this is a link to my website, to a special spot on my website where you can see the recent price improvements that are the best buys right now that are probably of interest to you. Or would you like a deal on your mortgage? Don't say fee-free mortgage, because doesn't that sound like RP funding? Yeah, we don't want. So if we work in any capacity based on the sale price of $250, it looks like you're looking around $250,000. I can save you about $5,000. I'd love to show you how. That's a powerful script, right? Oh, $5,000? What? Tell me more, right? And other scripts that I've heard, and again, I'm recording this so we can share it with anyone that wasn't able to make it. The other script I heard that I really liked the other day was, I love helping people save money. And the funny thing is, most consumers just ask the agent to cut their commission, but there's actually way bigger savings that I can give you. And I'd love to share more about that. And people are like, what do you mean by that? So curiosity provokes that conversation to go further. So think about that. And if you guys want to do like a script off or objection handlers or anything that you're running into, I'm happy to do any of that, because it's really about you getting comfortable with these conversations. Now, the truth is, I'm hearing, and I'm curious what your feedback is, I'm hearing it's so speed to lead that even if you don't get them, that you should at least leave a voicemail referencing how you got their contact information so that you can move forward with the drip campaign. What do you guys feel about that? Any feedback on that?
I'm big on text.
I do have a voicemail specifically, like it just says that, I'm Maureen with Keller Williams. You showed an interest in a property I have listed on Facebook. I'd love to get your feedback on that property, even if you aren't looking at the home. or even if you aren't looking for a home at this time, no strings attached. My number is blah, blah, blah. And then thank you so much for your time. I do tell them no strings attached in that. Like, I am just after feedback.
Got it. What about you, Natalie? I think you were going to jump in.
I'm
Sorry.
big on the text. Whether it's family, friends, or leads, if you don't pick up the phone, I hang up and I text you about why I called. So you can decide when it's a good time for you to get back to me. And I will do that probably between 7 and 8 in the morning if like I'm making calls early. And then by the time 2 o'clock rolls around, I'm getting all these texts and calls and voicemails because
text really works.
Yeah. And when you do it early, like I'll even do that with showing homes. It's like, hey, I found 3 homes that are in your inbox from the MLS. I want you to check out these 3 addresses. And then by 3 o'clock, they want to see them that evening. So the text message gives them the opportunity to see what it is, whether they wanted to or not. And then they can decide how important it is because
it's really about sifting through it. So if you get 100, there's only 10 real conversations in there. So it's a good way to sift through, but still be servicing. I like that.
Yeah, I know all my smart plans, for the most part, I would say they lean 90% towards text messages. As soon as I get a lead, and I'll step back. If I get a lead from Facebook, I do like Mimi. I text them, email, and call them, bang. And I get a 954 area code. So everybody doesn't pick up my calls. This is somebody else soliciting from East Coast. The voicemail that I leave is similar to Maureen. I'm here to help. You clicked on it.
I think you're good as long as you reference the Facebook ad so they can connect the dot on how you found them.
Correct.
Because those people kind of feel a little bit vulnerable, like, how did you get my contact info? I think that's just the only part that is critical.
Yeah. Then from there, it's literally a smart plan, but texting. And it's just following up, saying hi. I'm just thinking about you. Here's a link to something, blah, blah, blah.
Well, and here's the thing is consumers want to save money. They want access to information. You can do the FOMO script, like, hey, obviously you have some interest in real estate. You may not even be a serious buyer or seller, but you have some interest in real estate. Would you be willing to try out Real Estate 2.0 and give me some feedback? It's technology that doesn't, and who doesn't want to try that, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of feedback when I tell them, look, I created a personal web page for you. And I mean, since I learned the trick on our website where you can do a search for a neighborhood in an area they're in, and I tie it into the Facebook ad lead area, I send them that and I say, here's a last 7 days price reduction in this area. And I tell them that's their personal web page, search for them. That's
really clever. I like that.
I get feedback. They come back and say, thank you. And I'm like, oh my God, they are live. Okay.
Yep. Greg, what were you going to say?
I said, I've been doing that too, the price reduction thing, but I kind of blended a few smart plans together, and part of Nick Baldwin's, his first one that he sends is, are you interested in any areas or neighborhoods I could send you information on? Well, the problem is if somebody responds to you and says, yeah, send me information on Gulf Harbors. Well, the 7-day reduction that I'm sending them is on Starkey Ranch. So it's hard to be generic and personal at the same time, because should I then take them, if they do respond to me and say a different neighborhood, should I take them off of that?
So here's the point. As soon as you get a response, turn it off. Okay. And I got yours, Greg, because I was trying to send you one back and be sassy.
I know.
I got mine.
And I should have played along more, but you threw me for a loop when you said Gulf Harbor.
I know, because that's what I was saying, because you were sending me Starkey Ranch. I don't want to know about Starkey Ranch. So just another idea, you could put, here, I set you up on a couple hot neighborhoods. But more importantly, what neighborhoods interest you? ? Because then they're not going to be like, because when I got that, I'm like, I don't want Starkey Ranch. So that's why I said Gulf Harbors.
Yeah, because I like the idea of the Real Estate Search 2.0 and a stimulus plan one, and you know, being generic in that sense. But when I do send these reductions and stuff like that, we kind of go down a path.
Well, but you know what though? If you would have done that in an email, even though email is less likely to be read, you know, so maybe it's one of the touches, or you do this as another part of your touch. Because if you did an email and you just built those links for some of the top hot markets, and most importantly, what is your favorite neighborhoods? You know, you still did that, but you built those links in that email. Those would be good forever.
Okay.
Just an idea. And just be careful with text. You don't want to write a paragraph, right? Because some people are really irritated because they actually get charged for their text. So, right?
Yeah.
There's people that still have flip phones, people.
Yeah. The other thing I notice is, and this doesn't cost anything to do, it's free, and it gives them a personal touch. When we do that search area for them, I go into Biddy and put their name. I do that, I paste that URL, change it, customize the link to their name, and just. And
well, you're a
that's what
little
I sent to
show
them.
off. I think we should hire one. You're hired.
That kind of text. So
Yeah, that's cool.
I say to them, thank you for clicking on the Facebook lead. I know, and let's Golf Harbor's property, blah, blah, blah. Here's, by the way, a personal website for you. And
are you doing it like as a dynamic text with their first name, last name, like in quotes or something, or what?
No. When they first come in, and they go generic. Okay.
But
fine.
You know what I'm
Generic
saying? So what I'm saying, Juan, is in the, because it could be like the Juan Rodriguez personal website. You know, you could say, I built you the Juan Rodriguez custom website, and you could do that dynamic because remember you can put first name and last name in. So you could do that inside quotes. That's pretty cool, huh?
It could, yeah. I mean, I noticed that. I haven't done that. I've just been putting Biddy / Juan Rodriguez search or Juan Rodriguez interest. Something that gets their attention, and they're hitting it. Prior to that, I wouldn't get anything, but then after that, I noticed that they're hitting it just because they're curious to see what's behind their name.
So the point is as soon as you get interaction, because the point is your goal is to get interaction, and not to offend for those that aren't gonna play along yet.
I have a question about that. So I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I've had a whole bunch of people register from my Facebook ads, and I sent them all texts, and they change the name and make sure it's to them. Then should I email you? I'm not getting any response at all, and I probably have about 60 people that I maybe had 3 come back saying, you know, please take me off of whatever. I had one person say, I'm looking for a rental, and I was like,
Yale, did you get our notes? And we'll make sure we resend these. I'm bringing them up right now. Kind of like best practices, where we kind of documented the basics of conversion. Did you get those?
No.
Okay, I'll make sure you get that. Okay.
I like Juan's idea of a generic smart plan, but then having that custom interaction in between. So leaving that more personal link and stuff like that.
Well, and then you could just call it a task to remind you to do it.
Correct.
Yeah. That I think that's pretty custom. I mean, it doesn't sound like you're talking to a robot as much.
Right.
When you're doing that, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, to go back to what Yale was saying, though, Yale, what we've discovered is we basically have put all of our best practices together.
Sure.
And the best thing to do is obviously the quickest you can get to them is the best. You know, if you can get, and Mimi was started with this, their conversion they're doing well. In fact, 75 cents for probably a $7,500 opportunity. Not a bad return if that comes together, right? 1,000% return, not bad, right? Yet, if you wait, you know, a day or so, the chance of you connecting with them really diminishes. However, if you leave a message, so say you clicked at 11 o'clock last night, I'm not going to call you then anyway. That'd be weird.
But are you texting people at 11 o'clock at night if they?
I wouldn't. I think that's inappropriate.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I haven't. I'm just asking if that's something.
No, I just think that's a little bit. I mean, it's one thing if it's 8 p.m. It's another if it's like 11 p.m.
Got it.
Them how to treat you, right? Now you're texting them every night at 11 o'clock at night.
I think I like to stick with 8 to 8. You know, I think that's a professional time frame. But the truth is speed delete and then a phone call first deal, referencing back to the Facebook ad so they know what the heck, where you even got them, is really critical. And that could be in the form of a live call or a voicemail. And then Natalie's great advice is call, email, text, or call, text, email, you know, bing, bang, boom. And we know that they're most likely to respond by text. So I'm going to make sure that we resend the updated notes. I've got a couple things I added to it anyway that were pretty cool. But the questions we ask in the text, all the text should be short and sweet, like me, because you don't want a freaking paragraph. And if you can embed a link, even better. And they should ask a question or provoke a click. You know, like here's a link to savings on the mortgage. For a typical $250,000 mortgage, it's about a $5,000 savings. So to you, you know, so that would be a text or an email, but there'd be a click and you'd be able to bring them right to your Keller mortgage.
And if the person is not responding, that means they're still getting it. They're just choosing not to.
And just let it marinate. Yep, just let it marinate. Because remember, if you collect 100, you've got 10 really great conversations and 90 people that you have all their contact information. Like you just met them at an open house and you made friends and they gave you all their legit info. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Now, 80 to 90% is going to be accurate. Now, if you find that you're getting garbage, it means your ad is not clickable and they're realizing it after they've clicked and it's asking for their contact information.
So I'm having that issue. So is that something I don't want to take away from this group if this
Well,
is
no, we can go offline and look at your ad. I'll give you the basic information. Let's circle back and make sure your ad it's clickable in the right ways. We'll circle back to you, Yale, on that. Because the thing is they actually have to go in and change their information to be bunk information, which meant that whatever you gave wasn't good enough. Fair? So we'll play around and tweak with that. So
just I think that you know, just like the ads have to be clickable, I think there's not one approach to the smart plan. I think speed the lead, but the people that are nurture, just like our ads need to be clickable, our smart plan needs to get them to raise their hand and then have that personal interaction back, like Juan said. So it's almost like you're dealing
That's
with
why I can't wait for the video, because they can meet us and we can be people and they can connect with us. And you can connect so much better with a video than texts and links, let's be honest.
The other thing, I don't know if
I love your idea.
In command, if you put them on a smart plan, it sends them a text. You can command will tell you if they received it. So if they put a bogus number, command will tell you, hey, SMS not deliverable.
I mean, some of them were wrong numbers, some were disconnected.
And if it's not deliverable, kill that phone number.
Yeah, go into edit and delete it because you know it doesn't work, and that way you're not paying for the text. That's a good one.
Where do you find that?
That's right there in the timeline. So when you do a smart plan and it sends them a text, or if you do a manual text, it'll tell you SMS delivered or non-deliverable.
Right. It'll say non-deliverable, and sometimes it even makes it a task, like figure it out. Kimberly, you were going to say something?
Well, you were talking about video, and if anybody's uncomfortable with video, you should start practicing now, because you don't want the first video you start to send out. You have to take 55 takes to get it's designed to be it. So go ahead and get comfortable.
I learned something that saves me so much time, because Zoom, first of all, if you're really uncomfortable, one way to do it is to interview someone. So say Kimberly is a lone person or awesome inspector or whatever. I could interview her and record it. So just know there's ways of easing in if you really struggle with this, so don't sweat it. But here's what I love, because I used to do all these videos on YouTube and like use my cam and record and start over and record and edit. I'm like, oh my God. And then I would never edit the video and I'd never finish. Yeah, anyone else? So what I love is on Zoom, you can start, stop, and start over several times. And after you're done recording, it breaks it into little segments. I figured that out. I'm like, yay. So if I suck it up, I'm like, oops, stop, start over, you know, and then I'll just maybe do 4 or 5 takes. And then usually the 5th take, I'm like, good enough.
Yeah, I learned that as well, because I did a whole interview and I'm like, so I stopped and I said, let me just wait till it shows up. And I'm like, it's not showing up again. So then we did it again. I'm like, oh, I got 2. So.
Well, and then the other thing is don't forget to hit record, because the other day I totally nailed like 3 videos and I forgot I wasn't recording. So,
Okay,
I'm like,
so,
dang, I good hair and I nailed it. I forgot to hit the record button. So just remember.
real
Natalie,
quick,
you were going to say something?
yeah, real quick about video. We've been sending out personalized video for holidays and even just anything personalized, and we put it on YouTube first, and then we just text out the link. So, and then I can see who's watching it, because sending it through a system is pretty tough for anyone right now.
No, that's it. That was going to bring up the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting a link to the video, and I even
That's
have
what
a
I'm doing
generic
that too. That's the workaround for right now, because a lot of you are going to get a stimulus touch smart plan that I built, reminding you can access your stimulus plan. So just know that I did the same thing, and I just made that font bigger, and it's hyperlinked. We'll see how it works. But you guys know, if you have a video, even if it's an image that they can click on, it's just going to be so much easier to get to know you all and like you than words. And I think Greg made a really great point about the quality of our nurture and our personality that shines through that is going to be the people that are attracted to us. You're going to attract like-minded people just because they're going to like you. And I think the more you are, the better, because people want real people, not, green screen and this, uptight person in a tie, and that's just not how it works. So maybe that would be something that we all start thinking about, is what are some of the topics of videos that we should do, and what videos, what are they, and give ourselves some deadlines that, like, maybe before the 4th of July we have like 7 or 8 videos that we've made along the way to kind of talk to them about, and it could be as simple as, I know you're probably not even really in the market right now, but who isn't curious to go have some fun with Real Estate 2.0? And I'd love some feedback. And, and as a thank you, down below, click here, here's a gift, a stimulus program. That could be one touch, but if you could talk about it in a video, it's going to mean a lot more than a bunch of words.
Right.
So
here's what I'm doing also, is I've learned that I'm putting everything on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, these videos. Here's a buyer tip, here's a seller tip, here's this, here's that, blah, blah. I completely ignored Google. I started copying those to my Google My Business page, and all of a sudden traffic is happening in Google, which eventually feeds everything else.
Well, and
it doesn't have to be,
YouTube is owned by Google. And so
Right.
if you guys really go into this, you can create a YouTube channel that's branded to you, that looks really good with some playlists, and everything else that you don't really want visible, you save as an unlisted. They still show up for you when you log in, so you can find the links and, do your thing. But like, if I go to your YouTube channel, I can't see those. And so that's another great way to really amp up your SEO is, Google. Google loves Google.
And it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just, I do it walking down the street when I walk my daughter's dog, and my guest star is, and I spin to my dog, and blah, blah, blah. And it's
Who
just
doesn't like a
getting out
dog?
there.
What did you say, Garrett?
I said, who doesn't like a dog?
Right. If they don't like dogs, we don't like them. We don't want to work with them if they're anti-dog.
I found something useful, and you might have heard about it. It's called Spokio.com. And I had one lead that came through where it was just a partial name, and I went to Spokio and looked this person up. And long story short, I think I scared her because I got her name and said, "Hey, I was looking for so and so. My apologies." And it was like silence. So I think that's a great tool to use if you really want to make sure that you're getting good quality contact information.
Well, more importantly though, if you're not getting good quality, it's the ad. Right. Because they actually have to hijack the response and make it bad information before you get it. So just know, if you're not getting leads, it's one thing. If you're not getting leads for about $1 a piece, it's one thing. And you got some people on the call that were even 70 cents. If you're getting leads, but it's garbage information, it's the quality of the ad. And then if you're getting them, but you're not doing anything with it, you're not converting, then, so you got to kind of gauge, like, where am I working? Where is it working and where am I broken? so we can tweak it a little to get you flowing. So just keep that in mind. So if you or anyone you know in the office that's doing Facebook ads is saying they're griping about any of that, please let me know so we can help them in whatever area that it's not lined up. Does that make sense? And then scream from the rooftops to everybody that you know that's doing these ads not to do the 10 days of pain, because they're going to lose, all those good contacts by kind of just irritating them. And I don't know about you guys, but this weekend my phone was blowing up with text messages from Venus Swimwear and White House Black Market and Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Gus for Us or something, Gus Bilirakis. And I was like, good Lord, this is so irritating. My phone was literally blowing up. And I even tried to unsubscribe from some of them, and they just keep coming. So we don't want to be that person. And I just know as soon as we can do video, we can be us and it'll be visible. But until then, you may want to just get ahead and jump start on those videos. Food for thought. Now, Natalie, you've got some really kick butt stuff. And Natalie posted in our chat some of the videos and things that they're doing at her website, Pin Drop Group. You guys should check it out. It's exceptional. Really cool. Okay, yeah, we'll circle back to you to make sure you get the best of and work on that. And, keep sharing your wins. If anyone has any wins, give me a call. I want to hear about it. We're getting some good momentum, which is great because we're seeing some of these nurtures become actual buyer consults and appointments. And the only thing I'd say is just be safe because it is a kind of challenging time where you're almost tempted to be that Pop-Tart realtor and just go jump up and go show a property. And if you don't know any of these people and you're doing that by yourself, that's kind of scary if you don't really have any real information from them or you haven't had a real buyer consult. And because of the whole COVID thing, it's kind of people are kind of skipping some steps. So I know you got to be competitive, but don't forget safety. And just remember that if ever you're going to go to a property with a stranger, there's always someone at the office that would love to go with you. So be safe, be smart, and share your wins as much as you can. And we'll dive in Monday. And maybe Monday we could talk about some of these videos. And if you get a chance, go to check out what Natalie's put together because it's really good. It'll be inspiring for you.
I'm already following you, Natalie.
Greg, Maureen, and then Juan. What did you say?
Okay, I was gonna say, can we also, because the contest is pretty much gonna be starting to end for a lot of people, can we also next Monday screenshot our results from our ad and then screenshot our ad and email them to you? And if we want to talk about them, to find out either why they weren't successful or to share that they were successful.
That's a fantastic idea. That's why I'm so glad you're part of this group.
Oh, okay.
So everybody screenshot your favorite ad, the ad you're most proud of, both the results and that, and I'll make there'll be a prize. I don't know what it will be yet, but they will be a prize.
Well,
so anyone that plays along gets a chance to win an unknown prize. You like that?
I'm definitely not proud of my ad this time, but I want to know what's
Well, you went from the winner. You were the winner.
Yeah, I went from first to last. I'm Ricky
You
Bobby
went from hero to zero, huh?
I know. Yeah, I know. So, but I want to know what's wrong with it, and I want to hear from you guys of what you think's wrong with it.
So everybody get them into me. Put ad or something in there so I can search them easy. I'll put them all in a drive so we can kind of look at them. But I'll get some fun together. And then think about videos because I think that's what we've got to get ready for because I'd rather have these written up, ready to go, and then paste in a video, and you guys would be like way ahead of everybody else.
Do we have a Google Drive folder for this group, and then I can upload some video?
We do. It's actually the whole command, and then we're breaking it by applet.
Okay.
So that we have everything in one spot. I just need to get access to it from Andrew, so I'll put it there, and then I'll share from there, so we're all in the same spot.
Okay, cool.
So we don't have yet another Google folder. Right? Death by Google folders. Okay, you guys have a powerful day. Keep on keeping on, and I will share this recording to all the team leaders.
Oh,
Have a great day.
Maureen and